What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, on the move. Yeah. So, Microsoft, Satya, Daddy Satya came out, a couple days ago. I don't know what it was. And he said some numbers, big numbers, because, they're big corporations, so they got to have big numbers. That's how it works, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so he was saying blah, blah, blah. Revenue, Game Pass revenue, nearly $5 billion. I think I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty accurate on my paraphrasation. So Game Pass is profitable. Now, I said revenue, right? Once again, shout out to VG Fight School. He's doing the hard work. He's doing the math for all you illiterate, non-educated knuckleheads who can't do the math, like me. I struggle. So I rely on mathematicians, professional mathematicians like VG Fight School to do that hard work. Anyway, I mean, he used ChatGPT and stuff, but it doesn't matter still. So what was it? I think they had mentioned, Microsoft that is, I guess in one of their annual reports back in 2021, that Game Pass had made $3 billion, right? So $3 billion 2021 to $5 billion 2025. Okay, 4 years. An extra $2 billion. That's not bad. It's at 500 million growth each year if you want to spread it out like that, but probably not like that. So once again, Game Pass is profitable. Also, another B number is that the rumor or whatever scuttlebutt is that they spend roughly 1 billion, 1.5 billion. Let's round it up to 2 billion a year on Game Pass operations, let's just say. Meaning, the deals that they have to broker, the monies they give the devs and all this stuff. 2 billion overall, right? Plus, I think someone added in the cost of development for the first party games. With all of that in there, Microsoft is still profitable. Game Pass is still profitable. So, these idiots like Colin Moriarty and I guess Christopher Dring, well, he kind of sparked this up a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. And anybody else who's parroting these idiots, you're double idiots because you look foolish and extra foolish. Because if you just do the raw numbers, most people are like me. And it's $20 a month. I don't even think about it. I was like, $20, whatever. Do I get my $20 a month? Probably. Maybe. I would say probably because I don't know if I play one. I might play 1.5. No, I might play one AAA banger, the first party games that they release every 2 months. Let's just say that. Just me, because it's casual. I mean, I got a bunch of like little games that I picked up. There's this one game called it's something Ray. I forgot what it's called, but it's a Punch Out clone. It's Punch Out, but it's like with anime art, kind of, sort of. I'm like, yo, this game is kind of crazy. It's a little difficult because the art's a little crazy, but I was like, I like Punch Out. Punch Out's a cool little puzzle game. This game is just like that. It's really cool. It's got good voice acting and everything. But I'll remember the name and I'll let y'all know what it is. It's on the Microsoft Store. I think it was a couple bucks. I was like, whatever. I bought like 4 or 5 games the other day. I was just like, oh, there's a sale going on. I went through all the games. Anyway, I feel like I get my money's worth because, I played Avowed. I haven't finished it, but I played it. If I didn't play it on Game Pass, I would have bought it. And that's, what was it, $70 or something? $60, $70 when it came out. So that right there is 3 months of Game Pass. And right now I played South of Midnight, finished it. I'm gonna play Gears when that comes out next month. I'm playing right now. I'm in the middle of Expedition 33. I'll finish that up real soon. I got to go back and play Doom. I mean, all the games are there, and they won't ever leave Game Pass because they don't take their first party games out of the service. They do they take them? I'm trying to think if they took the Forza games out. I know they took them. They delisted them because of the licensing stuff, but I think they still can offer them in Game Pass. If I'm not, I might be mistaken on that. I don't know. I'll check it. I'll check it later. But yeah. So it's like I'm looking at the numbers. Satya gives us the numbers. I already knew they were, with my limited math skills. I already did the math, and I said, yeah, they're making. If they're only spending, I think it was a billion, that I'd allocated for their cost, right? And if they're making $5, and there was another, someone else said 1.5 billion they spend, and then they spend, and then they make the $5. And then there's 1.5 for, I guess, the games that they, But see, the thing about the first party games that they put in the Game Pass, they still sell those games and they still make money. Like, for instance, Starfield, right? Starfield came out. I didn't buy the whole game. I bought the DLC, which was $30 or whatever it was, minus the discount, so it was $26 or whatever it was, right? And so I'm like, they're not even taking into account the people who buy these little pieces of the DLCs and stuff like that, and that's part of the revenue of these games. That's why, like, thinking about game sales is not the right way to think about it. If you have a free to play game, how you gonna calculate game sales? You can't, because you ain't selling the game, right? You got to calculate revenue based off of microtransactions or whatever else you're getting. So this whole notion of, how many did they sell? It doesn't matter, because it just matters how much money the game makes, however it makes it. And that's where Game Pass is genius, because not only does it allow people to play games, try out games, you can still buy games. Like, I think I bought a digital version of some game that I already owned the physical copy, but I was like, I don't feel like putting a disc in, blah, 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 and I just bought the digital. I know I bought Cyberpunk digitally. I still got to play that. Someone gave me Elden Ring, and I played it for a little bit, and I was like, it's not for me. What else did I have physical? I'm trying to think. Oh, Diablo 4. I got a physical version, but I also played it on Game Pass before I got the physical. So, it's, people are so stuck in that old way of thinking. Sell consoles, sell games, and that's it. But that's not even what's making the most money out there anymore. And Microsoft is looking at it as like, why are we concerned about what these idiots are talking about online on Twitter, when our bottom line is this, and this? We got to get more people to buy more stuff in our games. How do we do that? We put our games everywhere. Okay, what does that mean? Put them everywhere. That's what it means. Okay, and then that's what they did. And guess what? They're making bank. They're making bank. They're looking good. They're the largest publisher on PlayStation and Xbox. Come on, son. When we talk about Xbox dominating PlayStation, this is what we're talking about. They are dominating them so much that it's just, you look at the chart, 6 out of 10 games, Microsoft. One game is a Sony game, and that's an MLB. It's not even an exclusive. There's no exclusives on there by Sony for PlayStation. And I'm like, wow, I would have never thought that Microsoft would just go in and slap everybody up and down the internet. I mean, you know what would be, if Nintendo put their games on PlayStation, Nintendo would be in there too. But look, we said PlayStation ain't got no games, right? That's proof. Look at that list. That's proof. The only game on there is MLB The Show. When did that come out? I don't even remember when it came out. Months ago, right? So, all these idiots who are saying Xbox, Game Pass is unsustainable. I was just looking at. I was watching. I think it was. I forgot who it was, but they played the clip of Sean Layden talking about Gamepass. He was talking to Destin, I believe, and he was Gamepass is not sustainable. Blah, 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 blah. He's talking all this shit, and I'm like, that's why you don't work at Sony anymore. Mainly because you weren't down with what they were gonna do, and also you kind of suck at this because, I mean, look, you put Phil next to Sean Layden. Who still got a job? Who got promoted though? Who's making money? Who's making billions of dollars for their corporation? Now, I know we shouldn't be talking about, like we don't care about these corporations making money, right? But we should, because if they don't make money, they don't have a reason to exist. If they don't have a reason to exist, your beloved hobby disappears, right? Video games disappear because they're not making money. Do you want that to happen? Then you should hope they are successful in what they're doing. Now, there is a line between them being successful and them being customer, facing, if you will. Good for customer appreciation. No, just good for us. And that's where, Sony's not really following that. They're just like, we just need to make money, forget the customers. Microsoft is trying to be thoughtful. At least that's how they seem. They're like, okay, well, Game Pass is a good deal. We're probably going to raise the price eventually. And we know this, but at the same time, they haven't yet. They were going to raise the prices, trying to follow Nintendo's lead. That didn't work out because that's the only one game, Super Mario. And tangent, Nintendo is starting to F up. And I don't know if people like said they sell 6 million units in however many months. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but are they are they kind of are they missing the story here? Are they not paying attention to what people are saying and what's happening? So, Mario Kart World is like, I look at it, right, and I'm like, okay, it's a kind of a cool game, cool idea, but if it's an empty, barren world that has nothing in it, and it's a cartoony game to begin with, then I mean, what are we doing, right? I don't know if Mario Kart's that type of game like that. Good idea, but like, open world, you gotta do extra. And they did something, but like you compare that to like Forza Horizon, and the difference is like crazy. It's like, okay, we have like Forza Horizon has the races, you go to the different events, whatever. Then they have the little the XP cards or signs. The XP signs, as you go, you smash them, you get extra XP. You have on the latest one, there's what was it? That's an event though. It's a pinata bash thing where they just put pinatas everywhere and you have to hit the most of them. And then there's the jumps. The jumps are the fun stuff. I love the jumps because you just have to go up on, like, it's all in the open world, so it's seamless. So you like drive. Oh, there's a jump. Hit the jump and then it starts counting your footage and stuff. And I'm like, that. I mean, that's my favorite thing. I find all the jumps and I just be jumping all day long. Oh, I got a new car. Let me hit that jump. But then they have the kind of what was it? It was like a Hollywood kind of story thing. Like, oh, you got to do the stunt, man. It's like stunt things. It's cool. It's like it's such a cool game. It's such a cool franchise. And I think they're gonna. I mean, they can keep going with it and start. I mean, the last one they had, was it the last one or was it the one before? It might have been the one before. It might have been 4, where they had an Outrun kind of tribute, where you got into a red Ferrari, and then they had like a specific course, and they had like this music. I was like, yo, this is like Outrun or something. Freaking, it was anyway. Tangent done. The point is, Nintendo is doing all these things that are not customer friendly, if you will, and their service isn't as good as others, mainly Xbox and PlayStation as well, and they expect people to keep going. I mean, their hubris is strong right now, and the fact that they sold so many consoles is supporting that hubris. And I wish that people would wake up, and they might wake up if they continue these these policies as far as like banning consoles and stuff. Look, you can only do that for so long, and people are not going to be like, oh, that's how it is. That's how Nintendo is. Oh, well. It's like, no, they're going to be like, oh, y'all want to, okay, I'm going to just go and get a PlayStation or get an Xbox handheld because those are coming out. And Nintendo was like, Nintendo right now needs to be the best option because they're not the most powerful option. They will not be the most powerful option. They may be the cheapest option, but people who are buying these systems are mainly parents. Now, some of the generation, I guess Gen, not Alpha. Who's before Alpha? Whoever was before Alpha. Why? Anyway, they are coming into starting to have jobs and money. And so they can, they're the early 20s. They can get their systems. And so like $500, sure, they'll buy that, no problem. 6, 7, 8. I mean, if it's good enough, I can play PlayStation, I can play Xbox games and Nintendo games if I want to. Shoot, let's go. So I don't see how Nintendo can hang on to it, especially if they don't have. I mean, they have some games. They do. They have Mario. They have not Mario. They have Donkey Kong. Well, Mario Kart, but I don't know how well Mario Kart is selling on its own. The bundle is probably selling the majority, and so that's one way to Trojan horse your sales, basically. It's not a bad idea. It's a really good idea. That's definitely helps sales, but they forgot about the 3DS when the 3DS launched, and they're making some mistakes. And I mean, right now it's like, I don't know, man. All they need to do is make one more super huge mistake, and then people are like, because even Nintendo has like RG T85, but that's him. He's like, man, what the hell is going on with Nintendo? All this and the game card stuff and the key card, and I'm like, yo, look, I don't know. I'm not getting a Switch 2. And then I almost forgot to mention this. They just raised the prices of the old Switches. I was like, I was like, yo, I probably gonna get an old Switch when they drop the price and it's all super cheap and I just get it. You know what I mean? Now they like raise the price like $40 or $50 or whatever it is. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm not getting a Switch at all. Nope, not never. It's like it looks like emulation for me. So, and actually, I started collecting some Nintendo cards because there was a store down in Miami. And what up, Alex? Yeah, we both in Florida. Anyway, the store down in Miami is like a super thrift. It wasn't a super thrift store. It's like a mom and pop shop. They had everything. They had like all old Playboys and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, a whole bunch of old comics. Like, man, this is pretty cool. And they had some games. I was like, okay, let's see what you got. There's some NES games on. All right, let me see. And I picked a couple out. I was like, oh yeah, this was cool. I think I got Master Blaster. What else did I get? I can't remember. But I have an NES in a box somewhere, and it works. But I had Xevious, like it came in the system was Xevious, and Xevious isn't a good game. It's not a good shooter. There are plenty of other shooters. I think Xanax is that the name of the game? That's a better shooter. It was made by by Compile. They make all the good shooters. They made oh man, what was it called? It was a Sega exclusive that you had to order. You had to like buy a game and then cut out the thing and then they send it to you. That's how I got it. I was like, yeah, Power Strike. There you go. Power Strike. But yeah, anyway, the whole Nintendo thing, and it's just ridiculous. They're raising the prices. Like, I don't understand why, but I mean, they're raising the prices so that they can. That's how, Phil Spencer said this. He said that the only way that we can keep growing, as far as and it was the royal way, like the video game industry can keep growing, because they have capped out as far as their consumer base, is either we find more people to sell to, or we raise the prices on our current populace of customers. And guess what Nintendo's doing? Nintendo. I'm just going to go to Nintendo. They raise their prices on the old system, yo. That's ridiculous. It's not even the current system. It's like the old system. Like, how else can we raise that? That's good. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, market conditions, my ass. They're full of shite. And they're just ridiculous. And so, yeah, Nintendo's off the board. I don't care what they do. Honestly, their games ain't doing it for me anyway. Donkey Kong Bonanza seems interesting in a way that it's like, okay, they're going in the right direction, but I don't think they're going hard enough. And honestly, I mean, I know graphics aren't everything, but if it was a modern day console, like a PS5 or Xbox Series, right? Even with that art style, it would look 1,000 times better. And that's my main problem. I mean, imagine that game with like just ray tracing. That it would be like crazy. But nah, they can't. It's just, I don't. Man, and the funny thing is, I said this before, Nintendo has always kind of been that same type of company where they kind of, I mean, it's been they're a toy company. Let's be real. I said this before, and that's what they do. They make product for children, and the children grow up and they have nostalgia and they stick to it. And they have children and they buy a Nintendo for their kids and for themselves, and they still say to themselves, Zelda's cool. Although if you look at the first Zelda, technology wise, sure, it was whatever it was, but now the new Zelda's like, okay, cool, has a specific art style because they can't do realistic graphics because they will not work on their systems and won't look good. So they style it up in order to get it, I guess, somewhat performant in a way. And these Nintendo's they're just like Disney adults, man. I swear, they're like, the nostalgia is so strong that they will buy Zelda and think, go back to their childhood and be like, boom. And you know what? I'm a Sega adult. Sega adult. This isn't Sega adult. Sega adult. Anyway, but I don't say, oh, I'm gonna buy all the Sega's new games because the games they're making aren't nostalgic for, they don't hit that nostalgia point because they're not the games I grew up with. They're not the Yu Suzuki collection. You know what I'm saying? If they remade all those games, maybe there'd be something to it. Maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll get those games. Maybe. Will they be any good? Maybe not. Because actually, Yu Suzuki's latest game that he made, I think it was his latest game. It's called Sky Slapper or whatever. I forgot what it's called. It's not called Sky Slapper, but it's some goofy name. I was like, that's a horrible name. And it's basically Space Harrier, but it's not Space Harrier. It's like a softer, gentler Space Harrier. But I was like, I was really disappointed. The music is interesting. It sounds like Queen, but I was like, okay, whatever. And so, I don't know, man. It's weird. But anyway, I'm rambled enough. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Y'all like and subscribe. Here in the comments below, let me know what you think about all these dummies talking about how Xbox is unsustainable, but they made $5 billion. Gamepass, I'm sorry. Gamepass is $5 billion. What's up with that? Anyway, I appreciate, and I'll talk to you on the next one too.